Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Who here is not familiar with the story of Les Miserables and Jean Valjean, and who here isn't shocked by the injustices that are heaped upon Jean Valjean, who after serving 19 years in prison immediately returns to crime after he finds that society doesn't allow him to integrate? And this, ladies and gentlemen, is a problem we are dealing with here tonight. We are dealing with the issue of a 30% rate of recurrence in crime. That means a third of people who go through the judiciary system only repeat their crimes. This is an absolute failure of the judiciary system. Tonight's motion provides a solution with this situation. The motion is this House believes that the first priority of the criminal justice system should be rehabilitation, not retribution. Tonight I will be explaining to you firstly how rehabilitation, who has focused on rehabilitation, will allow the judiciary system to fulfill its purpose. Secondly, I will show you how a focus on retribution inevitably leads to repeated offences. So the mechanism would be that we will hold a person in these correctional facilities only so long as they are a threat to society. Which means, ladies and gentlemen, that if a person was led to crime because of a financial situation, because of some sort of poverty cycle, we'll try and give him the tools so that he can find a job and so that he will be able to leave this cycle and therefore not repeat his offences. If, for instance, the person was committing crimes because of a psychological issue, such as kleptomaniacy, we will give him therapy until he has dealt with the issue, and then the moment he is cured, we will allow him back into society because he is no longer a threat. The flip side of this, ladies and gentlemen, is that if there is no way to stop a person being a threat to society, as in no rehabilitation helps him, or he is a recurring offender, we'll have no choice but to incarcerate him over a long term. So, on to my first point. How does the focus on rehabilitation fulfill the purpose of the judiciary system? There are 3 sub-points here. So firstly, ladies and gentlemen, we must ask ourselves, what is the purpose of the judiciary system? Is it perhaps to sate this self-righteous bloodlust for justice? Or maybe, ladies and gentlemen, the purpose of the judiciary system is to make sure there is less crime. It is obviously the second one, since the whole point of the government is to maintain law and order. And ladies and gentlemen, you must understand that the focus on retribution we have today is simply a failed tool named deterrent. On to the second subpoint, ladies and gentlemen. This motion will cause ex-convicts to be grateful to society. They'll be grateful to the law, they'll be grateful to the system for allowing them a second chance, for trying to help them get over whatever was causing them to be criminals. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, once they are grateful, they will also feel committed to society, and therefore, obviously, less likely to repeat their offences. Thirdly, ladies and gentlemen, this motion will allow ex-convicts to integrate into society, since people will know they can be trusted because the system changed them. People will know they have skills, and people will know that they are no longer a threat. So for all these reasons, people will allow them to integrate back into society. My second point, ladies and gentlemen, is how a focus on retribution inevitably leads to repeated offences. There are 3 sub-points here as well. Firstly, ladies and gentlemen, a system which focuses on retribution doesn't change the people who go through it. That means that they are just as likely to repeat their offences, because if they did it beforehand, they might just as well do it again because nothing has changed. Secondly, ladies and gentlemen, people won't be able to integrate because all of society knows these people haven't changed because the system isn't meant to change them, which means they won't trust them and they won't give them a job, and in the end result will be that these people's social economic standing will only have fallen, and they will therefore be all the more likely to return to crime. And thirdly, ladies and gentlemen, because of this maltreatment, because of this system where the person is just punished and punished and punished, he will feel alienated. He will no longer trust society, which means that he will no longer respect the law, and this person is even more likely to commit crimes. I will just point out, ladies and gentlemen, that a person who is greedy, for instance, and committed crime because of no real thing that can be rehabilitated, which can be dealt with through rehabilitation, will simply have to spend a long time in prison, just like he does today. In summary, ladies and gentlemen, I've shown you that the goal of the judiciary system is to make sure there are less repeated offences. As such, you can see that the system which focuses on rehabilitation serves this goal in 2 ways. Firstly, ex-convicts will feel committed to society because they are grateful, which means they are less likely to commit more crimes. Secondly, ladies and gentlemen, once people have changed, once society recognises that people who have gone through the system have skills, that they can be trusted, and they are no longer a threat, they'll be able to integrate back into society. Ladies and gentlemen, what I also proven to you is that a system which focuses on retribution inevitably leads to repeated offences because of the criminals don't change, which means they are just as likely to commit the crimes again. Secondly, ladies and gentlemen, they are not able to integrate because everyone knows they can't be trusted. And thirdly, ladies and gentlemen, once we've put people in this system where they've been punished, they will feel alienated from society, and for that reason, they will be more likely to commit crimes. For all these reasons, ladies and gentlemen, this motion must stand. Perfect. That's it.